Well, I think the archive in itself is a place. I mean, it's called an archive because it's kind of it is a place where there is information, a lot of information, or depending on what you're researching. But an archive, in the way that I see it, is its own world. And some of these worlds are accessible, and some of these worlds are a little harder to get to, and some of them are hard to navigate through. But they are a place. So, yeah, they also have their own language, which I think makes an archive really interesting. In my experience, I've worked with different archives, like film archive, music archive, television, museum archive. And the one thing that I find is that each archive has its own language. So, if you're looking up something, you're going to have to find the way to find it through the way that the archivist's language was formed. Because, of course, you can look at something, a date, you're like looking up for 1920s, let's say industrial, whatever. But if you want to get more deeper, then you're going to have to find keywords, prompts, actually. And I think prompts are an important term, especially when dealing with archive, with libraries, but also with AI, which is something that we constantly hear, like, what are the prompts that you use to get what you want? What are the prompts that the system is going to understand? So ecology of archive means that there's a lot to look around, a lot to think about in its own world. And that's what I think ecology of the archive is. It's what's surrounding it. How do you get in there? It has its own language. Well, I think archives are important to understand the present and not only the past. First of all, because you are researching it now. So that means that you are in the present looking at the past in the purest form. When you are living in the present and the subject matter of what you're researching is in the present, at least the researching of it is in the present, then it is alive. I also think that it's important to, at least in my work, because I try to make my work about present issues. So I don't necessarily point my finger at one certain time period and say, well, the 1943 Netherlands is my perspective. I'm more interested in actually being like, how are we today the same, or how are things moving in the same direction? So past and present for me in my work is it's clear, and it's something that I definitely work with, but I'm trying to talk much more about the now or the future. So past or present, in a way, are tools for me to talk about what I want to tell. So it's based on storytelling anyway, right? So if your story needs information from the past, then you need to get that information. But it really all depends on what your story is about. But like I said, using old content, old archive to reference now, that to me is really important. Well, I think this is a complicated question because the way that I use AI to activate archival material is there's different forms, but one form that I do is I'll take an old image, a still image, 2D image, and then put it through AI and then animate the image. So let's say I have a picture of the housing crisis which is a work that I am working on. If I have a picture of, let's say, the police and the squatting movement, and I don't have video of it, then I will take the flat image and then activate it in AI and then animate it. Now, again, my work, I'm really coming from the perspective of an artwork. It's not a historical piece. So it's never going to be perfect, but that perfection is really not what I'm looking for. So you're going to see an animated flat image and it doesn't look real, but the atmosphere, the mood of it is going to be sort of real. There are now, of course, deep fakes and these ways to work with AI that I don't do. So for me, I'm not interested in perfection. You can animate photographs in a perfect way, but that's not really the aesthetic that I'm looking for. So for me, it's really like a filter that I use to activate, to animate. Also, another important point that I'm doing with AI is that I can't afford to always buy the rights to certain material. Because in my work, I do a lot of collage work. Sometimes you're talking about 300 to 400 images that I'm using. And if each image costs 200 euros, it's just completely impossible for me to pay that amount for an image that I'll only use once. So my workflow sometimes is that I will take the idea of the image, or even take the image and then process it through AI and then recreate it. Now, there's a lot of people are going to be mad about that, of course, because it's appropriation of imagery, but I don't know. I think that maybe that's another conversation that needs to be had. I think that urgency is something really important. And if you feel that your story is urgent enough to, basically steal work to tell your story, then I think that's one thing. If you're doing it to sell Nike shoes or Apple phones, I think that's another thing. So my stories are usually urgent in its political message, and honestly, I can't with Nike's budget, so I'm going to do what I have to tell my story. I say you better use the tools that you can. And if you're worried about AI taking over your creativity, then you have a lot of things that you need to be worried about. I think the only thing that we have over AI is the fact that we can be creative. But I don't see it that way, because what creativity for someone my age is different than the creativity of, let's say, a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old. So even my aesthetic is very different. Like, I can tell something that was made in AI, at the same time, probably so can a 10-year-old, but they don't care. So I think that these questions of these pointal questions of saying how is AI going to interrupt my creativity? I think you need to become more creative or really question what you are trying to say. So in a way, it's like, what's CGI going to do to Lord of the Rings? I mean, you might think it's shit anyway, but it was definitely there it's a process. Life is changing. The world is changing. Technology is changing. So I don't know. Just be in the now. That's what I say. Be in the now. Use every tool that you have at your disposal. You don't need to use it, but it's really good to have these tools at your hand. I mean, it's like going to battle and bringing a stone. I mean, if there's other things that you need to bring, then you need to have those things at your disposal. I think the story and the urgency behind of what you have to say, what I mean by urgency is that your need to tell that story, and whatever way that you can or have to tell that story, be ready to use that tool. And that's what I think. I don't think AI is going to steal your creativity. I think like a synthesizer was able to create sounds that you never could with the piano. I think AI should be the same thing for you. Practical advice. I think there's something that I think about all the time, which my producer told me a while ago, Firat Sezgin. He told me it's easier to make a movie nowadays than it is to show it. Because we can make a movie with our iPhone, because we have YouTube, because we have all the social media to present a movie. The hard part is getting it distributed. So I would suggest that get a reality check about what it really takes to make a movie. Don't let it frustrate you, but go to a festival. Like, talk to people, talk to producers, see that there is a process behind it. It's not just about making a movie and getting, and putting it out there in the world. I mean, even YouTube films or influencers, etc. I mean, they work hard as hell. It's not just about like a 3-second photo shoot. A lot of these people are spending 18, 20 hours a day. Just work your ass off is what I think. But also realize that it's not just about making it. It's also about getting it out there. It's about distributing. It's about meeting people. In fact, if I could suggest one thing for a young maker, is travel and meet people. That's the most important thing. That's what AI can't do. It can't meet you people. The difference, this is another beautiful quote that I go by. It's like, the difference between mountains and people is that mountains can't move to meet each other. We have to have these networks to learn from each other. Learning from people is the most beautiful at times and the most difficult things at times way of being creative. Amazing festivals like here at Beldocs, you meet people who are interested in the same thing and who have different experiences, and they can share those experiences. And workshops are really, really important to get information about things that other people can give you information about. And without this network, this amazing, strong network that we have with the Europa desk and the media support that we have, we wouldn't be able to share this information. Another thing is that there's insights that people have about what the next subject might be. Now, it's to say, oh, what's the next big thing, is kind of boring and yeah, sometimes stupid to say, but it might also inspire you to learn about the way things work. If you know that things are headed in a certain direction, let's say about borders or environmental issues or children's rights or female rights, LGBT, these sort of issues, you can navigate your story to the right place. So generally speaking, the idea of like creativity and AI, etc., I think it all goes under the umbrella of storytelling. And I think that especially here at Beldocs, where documentary is a very big part of the festival, I think that storytelling, how we're able to tell these stories. But for me, the term urgency of your story, how bad do you really want to tell the story that you're telling, is really important. And facilitating these amazing conferences, that's the only way we're going to be able to meet people who are like-minded or having open conversations.